Hi, this is Jack again, roadtocycle.com, giving you a quick tutorial on how to put in your maxifuse. I cut about 1 inch off already of the maxifuse. When I build up my super kit, you can leave it long if you want, it's fine. Okay, first thing we want to do is strip the ends about 3/8 of an inch. Strip one in 3/8 of an inch and the other one 1/4, because the other side will just be for a ring terminal. Okay, like so. And then on one end, you put your barrel connector. Don't even put that on yet. So what you want to do now, you got that. Take and split your red and black wire. Okay, and split it pretty long, because what you're going to do is that you're going to put this next to it like so, and get the length. So they'll be equal length. If you don't want equal length, that's fine. You can adjust to what you want, but I do them equal length. Okay, so now I get rid of this, and now when I connect this together, it'll end up being the full length that I need and equal. Okay, so we'll do this. I'll put a barrel connector on here, solderable barrel connector. If you're going to just use the regular butt connector that you just crimp and heat up and shrink down the heat shrink on it, then just make sure your crimps are really good right here, and it'll crimp there, and this isn't stripped yet, but it'll go in there and you'll crimp them together real well. But this build up is to show you how to do it by doing it the solder way. I like that way the best. Again, I'm going to use my really nice pneumatic crimper. I'm going to strip this end too back about 3/8, like so. And before I do that, I almost messed up. Things I tell people never to do. Okay, in your kit you'll get 2 pieces of heat shrink. The long one goes on first. This one goes on second. Okay? So now we'll take and put these together. Make sure you get all the strands in there. Like so. Okay? So that's nice, tight. It's all good there. And what we'll do is we'll heat this up and we'll solder this connection together to make it as bulletproof as possible. Just crimping this is good enough in the real world with my pneumatic crimper, because it really does a great job. But I like to maybe be overkill or go one step farther. I really like to solder all these connections. And it flows really well. It'll go towards the solder, so it'll fill up in there. Then I take and turn it over to make sure. It's pretty big, so I want to make sure I get both sides soldered well. And it pulled in there real good. So there's our solder joint there. Really nice, clean. We double up on the heat shrink, or I double up on the heat shrink so that in any event of it rubbing or anything, there's 2 layers on it instead of just 1 layer. And that just makes it safer, I think, for everybody. Well, that's cooling down a little bit. We'll finish up these ends. Okay. Again, make sure you put on your heat shrink first. Over the ends before you put your connectors on here. Like so. Okay, so those are both on there already. And now these 2 ends will be the big ends that go to your battery, the big ring terminals, like that. I love my pneumatic crimper. It works so well. But you can use, with any type of, automotive type crimper you can come up with to be able to do this. Just make sure they're good crimps. Okay, so we have those two. Those are on nice. And we'll push our heat shrink over here. I put the heat shrink on it when it's still a little bit warm, but if I were you, because I'm doing this video actually, if I were you, I would wait a little bit, because if you don't get them on there really quickly the first time and nice, you may miss it. It might shrink down a little bit, and that's, you know, kind of a bummer for you. You just have to redo the heat shrink and get them over the ends as far as that goes. So we got those together. Okay, so that end looks really nice. We're done there. This end, we'll pull the heat shrink up, the first piece. Get it as center as you can. There's one. And then we'll get another one on here so that we got double protection. I don't know if anybody else would ever do this, but I do it just because it just makes it safer, I think. Okay, so with that set, you can take your sheathing and put it in there like so. So your sheathing comes out this end, so you can put your black connector on it. And I won't put the black connector on it for you because I have that in a couple other videos. So, and this is how it would end up looking. So, ready to go. So, that's your install for your maxifuse holder.